Yes, ma'am, I can hear you.
Yeah, thank you. Let me continue. Here we are in this UI. Yesterday we discussed the basic introduction part of all the topics here. So what is UI and what all topics comes under this, and each topic brief information we discussed yesterday. Here HTML4 as the first topic. I'll continue in our course. Okay. HTML4 is our first topic. CSS2. Here CSS2 is our second topic of our content. HTML4 is our first topic. Second topic CSS2. Then third topic here JavaScript. Here fourth one here it is HTML5. Then fifth topic here CSS3. Then sixth topic here jQuery. Here seventh one will be here Ajax. Eighth one will be here less and SAS programming. Here ninth one is here project. Here responsive design. Ninth one here it is responsive design. Then 10th one will be here less and SAS program. Okay, completed. Bootstrap. Here 11th one will be project. 12th one will be exam. So like this, I'll continue all my topics. In our web UI programming, I'm going to continue on all these topics. Total duration of my content will be here next 2 months. Here, yesterday I explained what is UI, what all topics comes under this, and UI related all basic introduction part we completed. Here, now let me save pictures, 9 o'clock, today's date 23rd October 2024 at 9 p.m. Here, in this UI means here, when you enter any URL, so whatever URL you are entering here, that is what here one user interface. This user interface UI page always connect with a server page. Server always connect with database. So 3 team of developers are working on here. So one web UI developers, they'll work out on UI programming. Server side developers, they'll work out on server side programming. Here database developers, here DB developers, they'll work out on database programming. Here database developers. Here database developers always work out on database programming. So like this, I'll continue all my topics. Here in this time, UI here it is a user interface. Here we understood here HTML. HTML is basically, it is a hypertext markup language. Here markup language, it is markup means here it is a tag based programming. Tag is nothing but it's an instruction to the browser. Here we are writing HTML is used to create basic skeleton of web page. Basic skeleton of the web page we can create it with this HTML. Second topic CSS. Here it is cascading style sheet. This is mainly used to write style part of web page. Style part of the web page we can create it with this CSS. Here because of the CSS we can create it here completely style part of the web page. Here styles are here. Here alignment of the application, alignment of web page. Here here CSS completely alignment of the web page, complete structure of the web page. We will design it with the CSS. Here background colors, borders, text related styles, font related styles, all we will write it here with this CSS. Here next third topic here JavaScript. It mainly gives you here main usage of this JavaScript here. JavaScript is mainly helpful to create our application here functionality. So basic functionality of a web page, we can create it using JavaScript. Using JavaScript only, we can add it here, mainly functionality to our application. Here, functionality here, validations, cookie, local storage, session storage, all we will write it here. Local storage, session storage, all etc. We'll learn it under this JavaScript. Fourth topic here, jQuery. jQuery is nothing but it's an external library. Here, external library of JavaScript. It's a JavaScript only, but it is a ready-made file. It's an external file. So you can check it here. Basic jQuery file 3.7.1.js is one jQuery file. Here, jQuery UI.js is one more file. Here, jQuery validation.js file is one more file. Like this, etc., etc. We'll use it as our jQuery. jQuery is nothing but it's an external library. By that, we can easily develop our application. Here, next one here it is Ajax. Ajax here, it is a asynchronous. Here, asynchronous JavaScript and XML. Here, whenever client is sending the request to server has to give their response without refreshment, without redirection if you get your output. So client will get output without redirection here or without refreshing. So without refreshing, without redirection, if the client is getting the server response, that we understood under this Ajax. Here, responsive design time, we will understand here how to design our output for mobile phone, tablet, desktop. Here, mobile phone, tablet, desktop. In future, in any other device comes in that device, how to display our output, that you will understand under responsive design. Under responsive design, you will understand here how to develop our application by all this. Here, this way you can learn. Here, next responsive design. After this, here lessons as I explained here. Here, lessons as, here it is a super set of CSS. Lessons as just it is a super set of CSS. Next one here, Bootstrap. Bootstrap is a framework. It's a framework of HTML, CSS, JavaScript. HTML, CSS, JavaScript framework only, we call it as Bootstrap. Here. Here, what I explained in the last session, those all I have covered up to now. In last two sessions, what I have covered here, in that UI programming, HTML creates basic skeleton, CSS for alignment and colorful structure. JavaScript is by functionality. Here, JavaScript is functionality. jQuery is an external library. Ajax here it is a asynchronous JavaScript and XML. It's a client-side scripting language. Here, responsive design time, you will understand here how to make our application as responsive application. Here, lessons as just it is a superset of CSS. Bootstrap, it's a ready-made framework. Here, Bootstrap is a ready-made framework of HTML, CSS, JavaScript. HTML, CSS, JavaScript framework only, we call it as Bootstrap. So like this, we discussed here all our topics. Next, now I'm going for how to write our first program. How to write our first program. So first two sessions, demonstrations, in that each topic basic introductions we completed. I think you joined yesterday and day before yesterday. I think you got what is the use of each topic basic introduction. And I already shared my drive access with you. Okay, I got only one student mail ID from organizer. So I have shared my 9 p.m. batch drive for you. See, I created that 9 p.m. list. See, only one student mail ID I got it from organizer, and I created one 9 p.m. folder, one Gmail drive I created. In this Gmail drive, I uploaded paint files, documents, programs, recordings, and weekend test. Okay, all folders I uploaded. In documents, here I uploaded my course content, here web UI course content, and HTML4 related all documents I uploaded. After this, here I uploaded paint file. Here in this, how many sessions we completed in 9 o'clock batch, those many sessions I uploaded here. Next programs, here up to now we not yet started any programs. Recordings, see here last two recordings I uploaded here. So like this, generally I'll share my drive access. I'll create one drive access for you. Here, drive access for you. Here, now, rename. Here, 20 seconds. So both the recordings I uploaded here. Both the files I uploaded here. Okay, so last two sessions recordings, 2 sessions programs, everything I uploaded here. So now you can check it here. In this drive is already shared with the student. See here, only one mail ID I got it. So for that mail ID, I shared my drive access. So by that you can get my updates. And here you will get my drive mail address here. So who are registered for this 9 p.m. batch. So for them, I'll share my mail address. I'll send one hi mail to student who are registered for 9 p.m. batch. Here, like this, I'll share my mail address with you. So by that, you can communicate. So wherever you have doubt in the session, you can ask me in that mail address. And if I give any task to you, you have to complete that task and you have to send to me. That way, generally, I'll communicate with the students. Okay, here, like this, I have created one 6 a.m. batch, 9 p.m. batch. Like this, I created. See, here, this is one 12 o'clock batch. So for this also, recordings, programs, paint file, document, everything I'll upload it. Here and here, 6 a.m. batch. In this 6 a.m. batch, you can check it here, all 6 a.m. files. So like this, I'll share with the students, all 6 a.m. drive access, that 6 a.m. students. 9 p.m. drive access, 12 p.m. drive access, 11 a.m. drive access. Like this, you can find all my drives, Gmail drives. How this drive is created and how these files are updated. Here, that way only I'll upload all my files to my program. So now in this time, so here I'm going to explain how to write our first program in this. I'm explaining here first program of our content. Here first program. Here first program. One second. Here, now I'm going to explain how to write our programs. In this web UI programming, here, our first programming here, HTML4 topic. HTML is a hypertext markup language. HTML is a hypertext markup language. Here, markup means tag-based programming. Here, tag is nothing but it's a instruction to the browser. Here it is instruction to the browser. We can give instructions to browser. We can give it by these tags. Here these tags are here. 2 types of tags we have. Here one is paid tag. Second one is here unpaid tag. Here paid tag we will write the tag name. and we'll close the tag name like this. Here unpaired tag, here itself will close the tag. This is unpaired tag. Any HTML page tags will write like this. Here paired tags and unpaired tags, we can write it for our program like this. So in this time, here paired tag, whenever you write the starting tag, definitely you need to close the tag. This is what here paired tag. Paired tag, once you start the tag, definitely you need to close it. This is self-closing tag. It comes under unpaired tag. Here, basically any HTML page follows its basic structure here. That basic structure of HTML will be here, doc type HTML head and body. See here, it is doc type HTML start, HTML close. Under this, we can write it here, head start and close and body start and close. Here, this is the basic structure for the HTML. Under this head section, you can write it here. Under this head section, you can write it here. That HTML page, how we can write it, we observed here. Here, HTML page. Here, this page, you can save it with extension, any name with extension of .html. You can run this program through browser. You can run this program through browser. So we are creating here one HTML page. Under this HTML page, we can write it here. 1 second. Here, this HTML page, you can run it through browser. So I'm creating my 1.html program. I can run it through browser. So this type of execution you can show for our program. This is possible by our application. So in this time, so what I'm doing here, so I'm creating one HTML page. In that HTML page, all our instructions we are writing in the form of tags. Here, normally we can write our program in Notepad. We can execute it through browser. You can write it in Notepad and you can execute your program by browser. But nowadays, we are not using Notepad to write our program. We are using here IDE. IDE here, it is a integrated development environment. Here, integrated development environment. Here, in this one, it is helpful to design our output to develop our application. Here in this time, you can see here VS Code, Atom, brackets, NetBeans, Eclipse. Like this, you can find so many here. Brackets, here NetBeans, Eclipse. Here like this, you can go for any IDE to write our program. Java students will use Eclipse, NetBeans, IntelliJ as their IDE. Here, like that, every programming will use different IDEs to develop our application. Here in this IDE, here IDE, Integrated Development Environment to develop our application. Here in this time, the development will do it here. Here. Here, Integrated Development Environment, it is helpful to design our output. Here, we are going to use IDE here, that is VS Code. You can install VS Code or Atom or brackets or NetBeans, any IDE you can use. Here, VS Code is one IDE. Here, now you can find it here, VS Code. How this program will get executed, check it. Here itself, VS Code. See here in this VS Code, I'm executing my program by this. Here VS Code. Here in this time, go to the Google, search for VS Code. Then you will redirect to code.visualstudio.com. See here, I'm sharing. Here I'm searching for VS Code. Just enter by that code.visualstudio.com. This is one URL. Here in this URL, you can click download option. So you can click on the download option here. So once you click download option, data will be downloaded in this VS Code. Here, once you click download option here, here in this VS Code, here in this VS Code, we can execute our program. Here, I'm going for VS Code. See here, I'm going for installation procedure of this VS Code here. See, first go to the VS Code. There is a download option here. So click on here, click on download. So by that, it will be downloaded. See here, you can click on this download option. See, it will download in my system in this downloads folder. So in this downloads folder, you can check my VS Code. So this is what here VS Code is set up file. So by that, you can download your code. Here it is VS Code. You can click install button. So automatically VS Code will be installed in our system. So by that, you can execute your program. Here VS Code is set up file. So by that, automatically your program will get executed like this. So now in this time, this VS Code, whatever you have developed here, that application, how to develop it, how to use it, those all you can understand here. See, this is one set of file. Once you double click on it, it will be installed in our system. See here. So double click on it. See, go to the VS Code. Here, set of file, double click. It will show you next access for this. Here, next access for this. Just click on the next button. Here. Here, just click on the next button. See here, install. So by that, VS Code will be installed in our system. Here, VS Code will be installed in our, once you click install button, VS Code will be installed in our system. So by this, see here, you can check my VS Code here, download option, click on download. So by this, VS Code is installed and it is executing through browser like this. Here, click on the next buttons, couple of next buttons, it will be installed in our system. So by this, here after this, VS Code is available with your system. Now go to the computer start button, search for VS Code. Here, search for VS Code. In this VS Code, you can click on here, search for VS Code. Here, VS Code here, start button, VS Code. Go to the start button, search for Visual Studio Code, enter. So by this, Visual Studio Code will be installed in our system. Visual Studio Code will be installed in our system. See here, this VS Code is ready. Now go to the file, open folder. So by this, you can open your folder here. See, go to the documents. Here, go to the documents. Here, you can find it here. I am going to create one new folder for our batch. That is here, 9 p.m. Here, I'm going to create one new folder for our programming. That is 9 p.m. October 2024 at UI. Here I created one folder for my application. Just select that folder. Here I'm going for VS Code here. See, in this VS Code, I'm going for file. So this is one file option. open folder option. Here I created one empty folder here, 9 p.m. Just select that folder. Here, select that folder of 9 p.m. Screen squeezed. Okay. Here I am connecting here with the 9 p.m. folder in this VS Code. In this, you can find it here. New file, new folder. You can find it here, new file as well as new folder. In this new folder, see, I'm creating for HTML4. For HTML4 sake, I'm creating one new folder. Under this, I'm creating one new file here, that is 1.html. Here, 1.html you can create. So now you can find it here, doc type HTML, HTML start and close, head start and close, and body start and close. Okay, head tag is used to write header information. Here, script tag we use it here for writing JavaScript code. Style tag we use it here for writing CSS code. Here, script tag we use it here for writing JavaScript code. Style tag we use it here for writing CSS code. Okay, here itself you can find it here, doc type HTML head and body. Here under this body we can write our content. Suppose if you are writing here, welcome to HTML. This welcome to HTML output will be printed in our program. Welcome to HTML output will be printed in our system. Save the program, then run it by here, go to the location. Here, go to the location. Where is our documents? 9 o'clock October batch. Here, double click. Double click on your program. So by this, you can check your output like this. Here, I'm able to execute my program like this. Here, I'm able to execute my program like this. Here, I can run my program like this. So this is what here VS Code. Once you click here, once you run your program, you can see that execution of the program with the browser like this. So now you can check it here. See, I'm able to execute my program like this. See here, in this time, here, this is what here, 9 o'clock, HTML4. This is my first program. Okay. Here in this first program, you can see here 1.html program, welcome to HTML is printing like this. Here it is, you can find it here, our execution, welcome to HTML. And another way here, so one way we executed computer start button, we created file. Here we go for file, open folder option will be there. Under this open folder, I created one 9 p.m. folder. Under this HTML4 as a subfolder. Under this, I created 1.html program. Okay. This 1.html program, we can run it. To run that, I'm going for VS Code. There is an extensions. Here extensions. Then search for live server. Here there is an extension, search for live server. So by this, your program will be installed in the, your VS Code will be ready with the live server. So now here, in this live server, you can click on install button. Here, click on install button. So by this, it will be installed in our system. So once it is installed, go to the VS Code, your program 1.html, right click on the program. So by that, you can find it here, open with live server. So once you click on it, your program will be opened in the live server. See here, right click, open with live server. So by this, your program automatically run it through live server. See here, this is the way it will execute. See, I'm executing my program by normally by browser. This is one more execution but running by live server. See here, I'm able to execute my program by browser. I'm able to execute my program by live server. So both the ways I can show you my output. Okay. So this is the way of execution of our code by live server. Here I'm able to execute my program by live server like this. Here this way only we can execute our program. Here this is totally about the VS Code. Here VS Code, here it is Visual Studio Code, how to write our program, how to run our program. Those all you will understand under this VS Code. VS Code here, Visual Studio Code, how to create our program, how to run our program, we understood under this. Okay, so mainly Visual Studio Code is helpful to write our programs. You can use Atom, brackets, Eclipse, different IDEs you can use. But presently in UI side, front end side, in development as well as in the learning time, we are using widely here that this is Visual Studio Code. So that's why I showed you how to install Visual Studio Code in my system and how to run our programs in the VS Code I explained up to now. Okay, so Visual Studio Code, how to create it and how to run that VS Code into our system, we understood here. So next, Control F5. What is Control F5? Here, execution live server. Okay, shortcut you can use, but it is one way. Live server is one way. Here, see, Alt L, Alt O. So this is what open with live server. Okay, so you can execute your program like this. So up to now, what I explained here, how to write our first program, how to run our first program, how to write our first program in VS Code, how to run our first program with a live server, I explained. In two different executions, one is with live server, another one directly by browser. Directly by browser, you can execute. You can open your program by browser. That is one execution. Here, when you run it by a live server, that is one more execution. Two ways you can execute it. So here, in this everyday class, I'm uploading in this drive. So I'll upload that first program in your drive. And paint files, documents, everything, how many are done till now, those many I uploaded here. Today's one also I'll upload here. So here, whoever not get this drive access, please contact the DURGASOFT organizer number they shared in this chat window. Please check it in the chat window. You can find their number. Who are interested to continue my batch at this 9 o'clock here, you can continue. Okay. If you are comfortable, I started one new batch at 6 a.m. also. I explain same stuff for them in the morning 6 a.m. If you are comfortable, you can join at 6 a.m. If you are okay, you can run either in the 6 to 7 a.m. batch or in the 9 p.m. batch. And also I started offline batch afternoon 12 o'clock. That is also new batch. It is the offline batch. You can join there. Whichever you want. In all places, I'm executing only one.html program, first program. Okay, so wherever you are interested, you can join for that. But contact organizer and lift the call whenever you get it from organizer. So by that you will get further information. Tomorrow link will change. Before coming to the class only, contact organizer and try to get the new link for tomorrow's class. And who are not completed that registration, who are not got this drive access, here try to get this drive access from the organizer. So that is one information. Yeah, up to now, if you have any doubt, you can ask, please. Rajkumar Chekradhar. Yes, up to now, any doubts? Up to now, any doubts, please? Yes, Rajkumar Chekradhar, any doubts?
No doubts, ma'am. Is React.js is not part of this UI training?
Not part of this. This UI is only the basic UI. React, you can go for 2 more months, separate 2 months for that.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it for today. Tomorrow link will change. Who are interested to continue my class, you can join tomorrow in the new link. Complete your registration before coming to tomorrow's class. And try to get this drive access, this 9 p.m. drive access. Thank you.